What you're about to read could alter your entire perspective on love, loyalty, and one of hip-hop's greatest respected couples, 50 Cent, made a statement a day ago that rocked the music industry. And it wasn't just an arbitrary remark. His statement, "We were together before Papoose," felt like the conclusion of a tale that many people thought could never be touched. Calm, straightforward, and unrepentant. Suddenly, the picture of Remy Ma and Papoose's The Romance began to unravel. These weren't merely words. They were a silent yet impactful explosion from admirers who felt that Remy and Papoose's connection was genuine. But in the midst of it, they started to doubt everything. When Papoose went live on Instagram, his hands trembled a little, his eyes were red and exhausted, and his voice hardly made. "I saw the messages that one sentence said more than any full interview could," he stated, despite her claims that it was a fake. Now that Remy Ma is disputing everything, she claims that there is no truth to the story. But 50 Cent is adamant, and the internet is people have gone back and unearthed old photographs, videos, and conversations that previously appeared innocent. In Fire, videos of Remy and 50 backstage, standing a bit too close to her previous freestyle, make it look fishy. Fans are listening to Gun It Radio in 2006 in a completely different style. And there's a scene from an award presentation where 50 gave Remy a hug. It's gone viral once more after being around for a little too long, and this time, people are viewing it from different angles. To grasp the depth of this, you must travel back in time. Remy Ma used to be the Terror Squad's brightest star, renowned for her confidence and natural talent. At about the same time, 50 Cent was gaining popularity in the rap industry and destroying the labels with only a few lines. Their electric energy was evident whenever they were together. There was chemistry, but nobody ever spoke aloud until 2008, when Remy was sent to prison, and everything was different. Papoose stepped in at that point and supported her through everything, visiting her, writing her letters, and paying for her legal fees. Payments paused his own musical career, but the world saw him remain devoted throughout the all, until Remy arrived. The reunion at home in 2014 was heartwarming and unforgettable. They became the couple that everyone cheered for, and a representation of remaining resilient in the face of adversity. But what if that idyllic tale wasn't entirely accurate? What if, at the time, Remy was while Papoose was serving as the encouraging spouse and behind bars? There was another man in the background who was silently history, someone who has proof, and someone who never forgets. According to those who perhaps they shouldn't be speaking, but did 50 and Remy have more in common than just friendship? They apparently had. Prior to her trial, Remy received a personalized chain from 50. Matching watches were used to reserve special hotel rooms, and she later said she misplaced it. But an anonymous seller has put that exact chain for sale on eBay, after hinting at it once belonged to a well-known female rapper who was seeing a well-known businessman following 50 Cent's startling remark. Papoose went live on social media. She told me that although he didn't scream or swear, he didn't need to because his face was covered with pain, just barely audible above a whisper. He claimed that 50 was merely trolling. But when I viewed the messages, that's when things began to spiral out of control. Something was said by an unnamed stylist who worked with Remy during her comeback. Every time Papoose left the room, 50 would appear. The atmosphere was weird. Nowadays, social media is flooded with old tweets, backstage footage, and grainy flip phone photos that appear to show Remy and 50 getting too close. Remy attempted to clarify everything at a Gun It party, claiming that people were misinterpreting what she and 50 were simply great, but neither Papoose nor the fans were buying at this time. Which is what makes this so tragic. It's the peaceful times, not the arguments or yelling. The quiet Papoose expression when he came to the realization that he might have sacrificed everything, his time, love, and loyalty, for someone who might not have done the same in return. Back when Remy was sharing ancient family photos and Bible passages. At the gym, 50 Cent was posting and playing a lot of dudes. The emojis of laughter. He wasn't giving up. In fact, he stated that there would be more. And knowing 50 Cent, he most likely had it prepared when a voicemail from 2006 arrived, which totally altered the course of events. You don't need to worry about Pat because he doesn't ask questions, a woman who sounds exactly like Remy says in it. The date was 2 weeks before 2Re's criminal prosecution, and the message seemed genuine and sincere. Started, which ought to have been sufficient, but as people were attempting to comprehend Papoose's return to the spotlight, he picked up a piece of paper that said, DNA test pending. The internet went down, and people stopped questioning if 50 was telling the truth. According to rumors, the test isn't for the daughter Papoose shares with Remy, so they wanted to know who the father is. For an older individual whose birthdate coincides with the period when Remy and 50 were purportedly associated, people close to Papoose said that although he had suspicions all the time, he never questioned her out of love and faith. However, after that, everything changed after the voicemail broke. According to insiders, and Papoose isn't sleeping, not eating, and has moved away from the same man who once boldly defended his wife is now mute in all social media music interviews, and that silence says more in the interim than words ever could. Ray is attempting to repair the damage by reposting sentimental quotes, old photos, and acting as like nothing is wrong. But the public isn't persuaded, especially after followers posted an N when asked about her relationship chronology in an old interview from 2015. She responded with a hesitant giggle and an unpleasant pause and an odd sidelong glance. And when 2006 rolled around, there was also that old video of Remy at a gunnet party. In the background, a man is seen whispering to 50 while carrying what appears to be the same missing chain and leaving. Looks a lot like Papoose, and to make matters worse, a former security guard who was employed by both Gunnet and Fat Joe sent a statement to a hip-hop blog, saying that everyone in the group was aware of Remy and 50, but nobody dared to talk about it. Now that the truth is coming to light, nothing feels secure. What began as a no one is aware of the intense love affair between two well-known musicians that is currently playing out in public. Where it will end, but one thing is certain, when secrets entangle love, nothing remains hidden indefinitely. What began as whispers about Papoose, Remy Ma, and 50 Cent has now officially escalated to a breaking point, has blown up into a public controversy behind the scenes, and now that the truth is out, it hurts the once a well-respected couple who are recognized for their fortitude and loyalty are now at the epicenter of an unavoidable storm, when a security guard who had previously collaborated closely with the organization revealed something startling. It all started, according to Papoose, was so serious and protective of his family that no one dared to mess with him. But the truth, his remarks regarding 50 Cent were astounding. He stated that years ago, 50 Cent unexpectedly appeared to Remy Ma's hotel room. She allowed him inside, and he remained for more than 3 hours. At that time, there were only the two of them, no cameras, friends, or crew. Although it didn't garner much attention, people are now discovering connections, and that calm night is making much more sense. Rumors of Remy and 50 having a covert relationship started to circulate after fans saw something about Remy removed in old Instagram photos of Papoose hugging their infant tenderly. This occurred just hours after rumors of a potential DNA test went viral on social media. It was revealed that Remy had canceled a podcast, attributing it to her psychological state. Interestingly, the host of the same program was a former employee. Some fans don't believe it was a coincidence that closely resembles 50 Cent. And then Fat Joe appeared after remaining silent the entire time. When he eventually spoke up amid all the confusion, he did not name anyone, but he did say something on an Instagram live that hard loyalty is uncommon, and perhaps the people you die for are the ones who are burying you. People questioned whether Fat Joe knew more than he ever disclosed. Perhaps he was keeping Remy safe, quiet for the benefit of their group, but even he is now unable to remain mute. And 50 Cent is taking full advantage of the circumstance. He shared an old video of Remy rapping about how adept she is at keeping secrets, with the remark, "Not anymore." Subsequently removed it, but not before it was picked up by every gossip blog. And let's remember, this man publicly ridiculed Floyd Mayweather and made fun of his own son. So when he claims to have more people believe him based on his receipts, according to sources, he has all of his previous voicemails, pictures, texts, and even a birthday. Remy allegedly sent him a card in 2006 that said, "Thanks for always having my heart," and finished with a heart. Back, the other card is currently being inspected to determine whether it is a genuine Papoose. Someone close to him claims that he is treating things extremely differently. So he discreetly made a one-way his cousin's flight to Atlanta, where his relative lives and works according to confidential findings. This cousin avoids social media and maintains a modest profile that leads people to assume that Papoose is attempting to learn the complete truth for himself. Although it's not yet simply about devotion, it's about discovering responses and perhaps even getting ready for according to legal battle reports. Papoose is considering submitting a legal separation, although he is awaiting obtains the final DNA results. Up to that point, he isn't speaking to fans or Remy, not to the press. He is quiet, but extra paying close attention to everything, as Remy Ma was seen by herself at a quiet Manhattan dinner. No husband, no cameras.